Okay, so here is our prime rib. Look at that beautiful cut. This is Angus prime. You can see from all sides. There's our coarse ground pepper, our sea salt grinder. I've taken some herb infused olive oil, some fresh butter, and I've squashed one giant clove from elephant garlic that was really fresh. Smashed it, and then I also chopped it kind of finely. Instead of making slits like a lot of people do, Bobby Flay in particular likes to make slits and put the cloves in very thin slices so you don't actually break the meat down, the enzyme, so forth. I've done it both ways. I like it both ways. This way I wanted to keep the meat intact. I wanted to let those juices have a chance to really render because we're going to cook it at 350, probably about 2 hours for this size, maybe a little bit more, maybe 2.5 at 350. A little slightly different variation to last year's prime. So, and here is our rack that we're going to be using. Last year we did Michael Simon's, a variation of Michael Simon's when we cut the bones out and browned the bones and used the bones as the base of the rack, but decided I'm going to keep the bones in this time. Okay, so I've heated that in the microwave for about 15 seconds. I'm going to put that back in the fridge. I wanted to congeal. The reason I wanted to heat up a little bit, I wanted to get some of the oils and the garlic. I wanted to get just a little bit of heat to kind of get them to release a little bit more flavor since it's going to go on the outside. All right, I've got 2 absolutely gorgeous sprigs of rosemary off our rosemary plant that is freaking, looks like the rosemary bush on steroids. It's done really, really well. One I'm actually going to use to put on the bottom of the rack while cooking, so it'll help flavor up. And we're also going to put a little bit of stock and water at the bottom of the pan. The reason why we do that is a little bit of a steam effect, and also it'll also give it a good base for the gravy that we're going to be making later. All right, I've taken the rosemary off. Now again, I'm not a firm believer in chopping the rosemary, so what we're going to do is head on over and we're going to use our handy dandy little scissors, and instead of chopping it, I'm going to snip it. Alright, I'm also doing a little bit of sage as well, and you don't want to cut your sage, you just want to tear it. Because it will, the oils, same thing with basil. You just want to use your fingers and you want to tear it. So, thanks to Giada for that tip, by the way. I'm going to place the sprig underneath, so it's going to be right here, and then the rack will go right on top. Okay, so here it is. You can see the rosemary underneath. Got the rub with the garlic. The garlic will get a little charred, but not bad, because since it's with the olive oil, it's got a little bit higher heat content, plus mixing with a little bit of butter too. Some of it will run off, which is fine, because it'll only enhance the gravy. You can see some of the herbs and some of the garlic is already there. And I've added some stock as well, probably about 2 cups roughly, and a little bit of water as well. And I'm going to put just a dash of red wine in there. It's because I love the flavor. So there you have step 1. All the prep work is ready to go. I'm going to let it sit for about 15-20 minutes like this. And then it's going to go into the oven at 350. So we have our Guardians here. Of course, we have to have our wine motif in the background there. So, and there we have our snowmans and our lookout into our dining room. And you can see some of the decor around the kitchen, which is amazing. You can tell that Krista likes snowman. I love that one. And we have snowmans up there with our old tea kettle. And of course more wine and our snowman clock. You have your other snowman skiing here. And then my favorite, the snowman that holds the toilet paper. As you can see, we have just a few things dedicated to snowmen.